So, oh, there we go. Okay. So Hulk just finished up. Um, Ed Norton is my favorite actor to play Hulk. Yes, I loved him way, way more than Ruffalo and Bana. Well, good at it and has my most memorable Hulk scene from any movie. Um, just doesn't do it as well as Ed Norton does for me. It's just fantastic actor. Um, this movie's pretty good. I really like the monster fight in this one. It's really well done. It's a fun watch. The obsession that's portrayed from the guy that becomes the Abomination, Lansky or whatever his name is really well portrayed. The story in this not as complex as I think it could be because it's just oh, I have to get here and try to get cured, and at the same time there's this whole addiction storyline, which is much more interesting. So it could have been a really good movie about the villain where the hero's story was the backdrop, and it kind of was in some ways, but they balanced it out too much for that to be the case. Um, you really get in Bruce Banner's head in this movie, though, and that's great. Sorry. You really get in Bruce Banner's head in this movie, and that's just great because you get to see a lot of the struggle that he's dealing with, and I like the amount of time in between instances of the Hulk because you really get every time you see it, the different effects it has on his life. At first, you see the effects that it has on his livelihood. The second one, you see the effects that it has on his relationships, on the people he cares about, and then later again, you see the effects it has on his career, and then finally the effects it has on him as a person, and more so on the Hulk. Uh, this is where we first get hints of Hulk as a character, and we get a little bit of that in Avengers, but not much. I didn't notice that Shield was in this. I just glazed over that part. I didn't realize the General was part of Shield, so that was interesting to see. I guess he's a lower rank, which I want to figure out what exactly Nick Fury's rank is to have generals under him. It's one hell of a rank. Director. Wow. Really cool setup. This is the Hulk that I enjoy the most. This is a really good movie. It's one of those movies where I notice something different each time I watch it. This time it was the Shield thing, and I always said that's the mark of a good movie. There's not a ton else to say positively about it. Problems with it now. It could use more of the Hulk and less of Banner's story, because to be fair, we already know Banner's story. As much as I was, just praising it a minute ago for all that it does with Banner, you don't get into the Hulk's head as much as you should, and to be fair, that was definitely hinted at to being part of what they're setting up for a sequel. Because throughout this, they set up, the leader for a sequel, and they set up Hulk as more of an independent character instead of just, Dr. Jekyll for a sequel. And that was, to the film's credit again, the way they set up the leader is fantastic. I really enjoy that because I feel more movies should do that to get their villains put in earlier, or the people that will become their villains to get their origins put in earlier instead of having to worry about setting up another origin in every film for each villain. Because, that can be good, especially if you tie it into the story and everything, but often it's just kind of thrown in there on the side. This was definitely part of the story to introduce the Abomination, and it was an interesting side note to introduce the leader for his origin, for how he got his powers. And I really do hope that they get a sequel, even if it is with Ruffalo. I'm still like, meh. I don't really care about you, but hey. So yeah, that's about all I got. Negatively, odd things. This movie doesn't itself to Iron Man very strongly, which is weird because, well, I did guess they didn't know Iron Man was going to be the huge hit it was, but they were filming and editing them at the same time, and I assume writing the scripts around the same time. So I was surprised that they didn't connect them more strongly. It seems like that would have been a really good opportunity to just, tie these two together in a stronger way, similar to how Hulk and Thor were, but they didn't. Uh, it's not a terrible thing. So, all right, and now it's 10:22, and I'm gonna watch the Avengers.